So I'm in the cereal aisle. I'm just in my cereal aisle, right? And I'm listening to Pat Benatar's Invincible on the overhead because Safeway always has good music. And up at the top, there's Cookie Crisp. Sometimes it's out. You don't see Cookie Crisp often nowadays.
No, you really don't see it too often, do you? Yeah.
No, and I think maybe the moms of America caught on, like, hey, General Mills, we know what you're doing. You're feeding our kids cookies for breakfast. We caught on to that shit. Or all the basically it's all the moms or kids that grew up eating it, probably, right? Because they're
Yeah.
all like Gen Xers and millennials and stuff. So they probably already, it's not that they caught on, it's that they were doing it.
Yeah. Like, hey, I ate that when I was a kid. I just know that
Yeah.
was mini chocolate chip cookies in milk. Come on.
Yeah. So we're parents now. We know you can't fool us. But they do, and every once in a while they come with it's top shelf and only one section.
Yeah.
So it's not like super selling, but it's still around. But it's a wolf, dude.
Was it? I don't remember what it was before. Was it not a wolf?
So no. And I even had in my head when I saw the Cookie Crisp box, Cookie Crisp. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Cookie Crisp.
Uh-huh.
So then my head started jumbling all up with wolves and dogs and cops and robbers and wizards, and I'm starting to like make my head's just full of all this weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I gotta go make sense of this before I start making paranormal conspiracy theories like I did with those, that other cereal
Yeah, the bakers.
debate. Yeah. So I got all this stuff rumbling around in my head, and I'm kind of tweaking out on Cookie Crisp mascots. Like it's all in my head. I don't know what to think of it. But luckily I have to call out a Logan Busbee, who wrote a Medium article
Okay.
that it's called The Confusing Cookie Crisp Mascot History. And Logan has a corresponding video. Some years ago, Logan wrote this article, which I'm happy for because I could calm down and make sense of what's going on in my head. And I know that there's other people who write weird articles about this about this stuff. And it's not just me who thinks about it. You know what I'm saying? So Logan, thank you for your article because you calmed me down. So here's what's up. So Cookie Crisp came out in 1977, and its original mascot was a wizard, like some kind of Merlin looking fool.
Oh.
And his name was Cookie Jarvis. And he'd go around and he changed all the kids, cartoon kids, he changed their bowls into like cookie jars.
Okay. Yeah.
Do
All
you
right.
remember Cookie Jarvis? He was a
Uh,
wizard.
I'm looking at him right now. I could kind of see why they changed it though.
Yeah, well, it's basically this wizard's like, "Oh, let me change your breakfast into a big cookie jar." Like he's letting that cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
Because in the 70s, they give a shit about kids, right? They're like, "Oh, your breakfast is cookies now."
Bring magic.
so so he's doing his thing until 1985. That's maybe why I have a vague memory of the wizard guy,
Mm.
right? But in 1985, they completely changed. They got rid of the Cookie Wizard altogether, and they came out with the Crook and the Cop. So Cookie Crook and Officer Crumb.
Yes, I remember them.
That's who
Yeah.
you remember, right?
Yeah, because somebody was always trying to steal the cookie crisp and the cop was chasing him, right? Yeah.
That's right. So, in typical commercial fashion, serial commercial fashion, the masked robber dude, he's got a cookie hat. He's always trying to steal the cookies.
Yeah.
And the cookie cop's like, "Nah, I caught you, bro." And he's got the big mustache with the billy club and the big, like, it looks like an English cop, maybe. You're not gonna steal my cookies. You're
Yeah.
under arrest, Cookie Crook. And they were little. They were like on the table, and like they were little cartoons in the real world trying to steal that stuff, right? But then, but then they brought the dog on in 1990.
Hmm.
That's what I remember. I mentioned before was the robber and the dog against the cop. So I guess his name is Chip the dog, and they brought him on. He had a little mask too. So that crook who's trying to steal cookies, he wanted to get help because this cop's just too much for him. So he got himself a dog. So they were both trying to steal those cookies, right? So that in the 90s, that's how it was. That's kind of what I remember mostly, probably, is they had the dog. Chip was trying to help Cookie Crook steal that action. You probably remember that a little bit, right?
That's what that's familiar to me.
But here's what happened in 1997 is they got rid of that crook and the cop, and they kept Chip the dog. And it was just the dog starting in 1997 after General Mills bought Cookie Crisp from the place that it was, wherever it was, right? So 1997, it was just Chip the dog who took off his mask. And not only was he not stealing Cookie Crisp, he was giving it to kids, graciously giving it to them. So that's a trip to me, is like, wait a minute, is this some kind of redemption story or something? Because you were trying to help this Cookie Crisp cook bandit dude, and you had the mask on. You were nefarious as hell. And now suddenly, like, the mask comes off and you're just graciously giving it to the kids. Did you get busted and now the FBI?
That's his community service.
Yeah, he got busted, and the cookie judge said, hey, you got to take off the mask and do commercials and like give it to kids and be wholesome and stuff.
The other one, he's still in jail, actually. That's why it's just the dog. The dog got out early for good behavior. He was a good boy. He was a very good boy. And so they let him out. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But
well, when did it become the wolf though?
Yeah,
okay.
So that's weird, because now it's the wolf. It's like, did that dog just go like full moon, turn into a wolf or something? Like, what the heck? But what happened was, so this is past the 80s and 90s now. So this is past our realm, but I'm going to talk about it anyway, because in 2003, Cookie Crisp went to Asia and Europe, and for some reason it was Chip the wolf, not Chip the dog. And he still had that Cookie Crisp thing going on, but it was a wolf. And this wolf tries to steal the shiznit.
Oh, just can't get it out of his system, huh?
No, so it's not Chip the dog, but it's still Chip the dog in the US, but overseas in Asia and Europe, it's Chip the wolf, who's still trying to steal that action. Okay. He's trying to steal that Cookie Crisp. But then a couple years later, in 2005, they said, hey, Chip the dog is now Chip the wolf in the US too. We're switching him up. And now he's Chip the wolf, and he's going to try to steal the Cookie Crisp again.
Oh,
so that's why. So it's some kind of Eurasian wolf who invaded America and ate the dog and took his place. Even though he was doing well for himself, he redeemed himself. He wasn't trying to steal anything. He was actually a good boy, like you said. And the Eurasian wolf came and displaced him, and now he's a bad guy again. So that's what's going on.
Immigrants, man, coming over, taking all the jobs.
Go back to your country.
Yeah.
Cookie Crisp wolf.
Go back.
Taking our jobs, stealing our cookies.
Poor dog is out of work. He's probably just in a old dog's home, sitting on the porch.
He's a homeless dog now.
Yeah.
And he was just trying to like make things right. And then you got to come and not only take his job, but then you start stealing stuff
and taking, because that's
sucking up all our welfare.
Yeah. Living off the system.
Yeah.
Taking our Cookie Crisps.
Anchor cookie wolves. Having little anchor cookie wolves. A whole litter of them. So anyway, that's the update from Jamie's World of Cereal. And thank you, Logan Busbee, We should put a link if we post this to his Medium article. And thank you, Logan, for being as weird as I am.
As you.
And years prior thinking about this so that I can look at your article and make sense of what was going on in my head. I owe you one, Logan. Thank you.
Nice.